Yo, welcome back. Yeah, let's continue the trial. Pretty sure Satsuki is the killer, or maybe Hariko is the killer in some like weird fucking twist. It's one of those. Hard to say. An impossible crime. I mean, basically, my theory has not changed at all since I did like my cooking before entering the trial, because almost all of what we talked about in the trial was stuff I already had figured out. The only new information was Kurokawa's testimony, but that didn't really change my suspicion. What does that mean? It's literally what it means. The incident happened, but no one in this state is capable of causing the incident itself. That can't be. I can affirm there's no such thing as an impossible crime in this world. I agree with this. There's no unsolved problem in the world. When a result has happened, it means that there was a series of processes. In this case, how do you explain it? To assert that this was an impossible crime, you gave up on the case. There's a secret that has not yet been solved where your thoughts don't reach to the end. But if neither Kinjo-kun and Mikaru, who always knew the critical points of the case, were confused enough to say that it's already a mystery that can't be solved? Shut up. Do I look like I'm panicking right now? Yes. Sorry, but it looks like that. It's been a few days now, but these days Kinjo-kun is not Kinjo at all. Just like Maeda-kun before coming to the ballroom. You're being very annoying, damn criminals. Kinjo, why are you saying that? It's not really like you to get emotional so easily. Ignore it. Now we're in a trial. This is a life or death war. If you take care of someone who loses their temper during a war, you'll have to go through them. There's no other option. This person or that person. I'm done. Again, this case isn't an unsolved crime. Let's organize the information. Kenjo. First, even if you put on hold Teria's claim that the crime is impossible, it will be necessary to look at the case from a different point of view. A different point of view? In retrospect, all of the reasoning we've done so far is based on Kurokawa's testimony. Let's step back here for a moment. Has anyone ever seen Kurokawa spang on the hallway? What? What do you mean? In short, Kurokawa's testimony is not too blind, but are Kurokawa's words 100% true? She would be hungry in extreme circumstances. Would she bear with that in mind? What? Lastly, there could be a possibility that Kurokawa was the culprit. When that idea comes up, she could be playing with all of us. Kinjo. Hey, did you go crazy? Did you really flip around that fast? That's stuff that comes from your mouth. What? I'm talking about possibilities. Just asking questions, man. At the time of Tomori's murder, during Kinjo's testimony, you put a tread on our private room doors to prove our alibis. But that was evidence that no one else knew other than Kinjo. It's the same story. It's different from that. What I've been doing at the time is what I've been doing before the incident, and this is just simply what you've seen and heard testimony. It is meaningless to condemn the truth or falsehood in a testimony. Did you forget what you said? It's utterly disappointing, Tsurugi Kinjo. Even though I was thinking you were just a crazy guy, I admitted I admired your reasoning skills, but now you've stopped thinking with your head. Okay, I agree that Kurokawa is not the culprit, but it's not a crazy thing for him to like bring up that Kurokawa could just be lying and she could just like have gone in and killed Hariko. I don't think it's a crazy thing he's saying. But since the situation is quite desperate, isn't Kinjo trying to do everything he can? Kurokawa, is there no way to prove it? Your testimony, I mean. I don't know why I have to do this. Why not ask Satsuki or Teruya? Huh? You've heard about my testimony? Teruya admitted that he entered the arsenal a while ago. What about Satsuki? If I was out at dawn, well, like Kurokawa said, since I'm the killer above top, of course I wandered around at dawn. Even if we ignore the backstory, Dark Circle's testimony is reliable in its own right now. If I were you, I would have known that right away without having to do this cumbersome work. You're noisy. As long as your reasoning hits a wall, it's a way to do what you can. Hey, you admitted with your own words that your reasoning was blocked now? That's funny. Be quiet, Mikaru. You're on the same level as we are right now. Do you think you're in a position to mock others now? That's enough. How come Kurokawa can have this powerful voice in a class trial? Everyone, don't get worked up. Since this is a difficult case, we need to regain stability more than usual. So let's calm down and look back again from the beginning. There must be something we missed. Sorry, as Maida says, I was getting too excited. I apologize. Then Teruya Otori is not the culprit. I'm sure up to this point. Even if that's true, we'll have to double check. Teruya, are you really sure you sent a letter to Hariko and loaded the bullets? Well, yes. I'll say, I still can't believe I'm not the culprit. I didn't really read the Monokuma file properly, so in a hurry. I saw the right hand ruptured, so I guessed I was the one who did it. That probably isn't a lie. Teruya really thought he was the killer. He said a little while ago, as if confessing, he told us he was going to be executed. It's unlikely, but something came to my head. Can I speak? Go ahead. An accomplice, or in fact, there were two culprits. Yeah, so true. Dismissed. Okay, you're stupid. Anyways, all opinions from your brain like that or what? Are all opinions from your brain like that or what? I didn't even expect it. Rubbish opinion like that. A story not worth considering. Anything like that, just crumple it, take it out of your brains and throw it into the trash. Okay, calm down. That's unfair. I said that because I was just thinking in my own way. If Teruya had an accomplice, there would have been a person who objected at the time of him being accused as the culprit. Even if not, Teruya would have confessed everything and made a mistake in the end. But what if there was a real criminal and they pointed out Otori-kun as a culprit? Everyone except the real culprit dies, right? Can't you think about a development Can't you think about a development like the culprit used, Otori-kun? Oh, you're using your head, but that wouldn't be it. Even if a culprit secretly worked behind Teruya Otori to cover up his sins, it is impossible to work without him because of the limited circumstances of the arsenal. And even if there is an accomplice, if we believe Kurokawa's testimony, the only suspect remaining is Iranami, so she can be. Huh? Wait a minute. I have a thought that something passed like a flash in my head just now. No, I am the real culprit. You're relentless. Why are you claiming to be the killer? Even after that, you don't know anything about this case. The more you claim to be the culprit, the more you claim your innocence. You still don't notice? Let's organize our thoughts first. Teruya is not the culprit. He didn't shoot. What Teruya did was call horror by using a leather and make a trap that explodes the gun by misloading a bullet. And the person who killed Hariko himself, in other words, what the real culprit did, what Teruya didn't do, that is, grabbing a gun to kill Hariko, messed up the interior of the arsenal, and finally locked the door with the plank and the grenades. Teruya doesn't know what the real culprit did. If we think like that, conversely, does the culprit know what Teruya did? No, the real culprit wouldn't know what Teruya did. As Mikori said earlier, what Teruya did was unknown to anyone since he was in the closed space of the arsenal. Unless the culprit directly sees it or Teruya tells them in advance. Then who's the killer? Wait guys, there's something I want to check for a moment. Maida? Before Kurokawa watched during the morning, from that point on, what if someone was hiding inside the arsenal? Could there be such a case? No, I don't think it would happen. Kinjo was tied up, and I saw Tara going to her room before. Mikaru, the last time she went into the empty room to the left of the dance hall, she didn't exit the room at all. When did you see this? Well, you're right. I was investigating the empty room all day long. Then there are only two suspects that Kurokawa has seen, and they don't know what each one have done. In other words, the real culprit doesn't know that Hariko received the leather, and they don't know why their hand was ruptured. But for some reason, Hariko was shot with a gun and killed. There's someone who could fit the conditions right now, that turned themselves at the start of this trial. Okay, you're making it really obvious? They entered in the suspect view since they moved at dawn, and no one else can commit a crime at this stage. But is this person really the culprit? If so, why in the world? Yeah, it's Satsuki. I get it. All of you guys won't want to admit it, but I think I know now the identity of the culprit. What, Marikun, you know the killer? The person who satisfies all the conditions as the true culprit of this case. It can only be you. Satsuki. What? Satsuki's the killer? Hooray, you finally came to think of me as the culprit. Only Yuki understands me. I'm so glad. Wait, Maida-kun, look at her now. She was picked as a culprit, but she looks rather content. Do you really think that Satsuki is the culprit? Think about it. The only one who can possibly do this is Satsuki. At the beginning of the trial, when Satsuki came out saying she was the culprit, We were trying to interrogate her to see if she really was. However, Satsuki had no idea about the letter that called Hariko and his destroyed right hand, which we thought the culprit would know. Of course, so we thought that because of these reasons that she wasn't the real culprit. But take a look, the two things mentioned earlier are actually from Teruya's doing, not the culprit. Teruya didn't know that there was someone who killed Hariko by shooting him with a separate gun. So, on the contrary, did the culprit know that Teruya sent a letter and destroyed his hand? Probably not. It would be impossible to know Teruya's actions unless he himself told the culprit in advance. Then the real culprit would be a person who doesn't know why the letter was sent to Hariko's room and his right hand exploded, even though they didn't know why his hand ended up that way. And there is someone who meets these conditions. The person who confessed with their own voice that they killed Haru by shooting them, but didn't mention about the right hand nor the leather. And that person is Satsuki. Well, I'm not sure what you're saying because it's difficult, but anyways, that's right. It was me, I killed Haruiko. I think Mariko's reasoning makes sense, but I don't really understand Satsuki-chan's appearance being like that. Why did you do this, Satsuki-chan? Why do you like it so much when you're being named as a killer? Kobashi-kun, who was close to Satsuki-chan, with her own hands, how can you say it so lightly that you killed him? Weren't you sad? Think again, incompetent. Of course it's possible to commit the crime, as you said. There's only that woman, but this is absolutely not the reaction of a killer. Are you stupid? I'm not crazy, it's very normal. Actually, I don't know why Satsuki reacts like that and keeps saying that she's the culprit. However, I can't think of any other reasoning. Mada's words. Makes sense. In fact, at the time Teruya was not found to be the killer. It was enough to doubt Satsuki because of the circumstances. Maybe, as soon as the trial began, Satsuki couldn't be the culprit. We were stuck in stereotypes, and we didn't think it more true. Satsuki, I'll check once more. Are you the culprit? Hariko, you killed him with a gun in your hand? Yeah, that's right, I'm the killer. Wait, if you're the real culprit, can you explain why you're so positive? You were like the one constantly appealed to him as the culprit. I don't know, just when the trial started, it became bothersome to make excuses, so that's why I just confessed. Now, if it's decided, go ahead and execute me. If you sound so refreshingly like that, it doesn't look like you're a criminal, on the contrary. I have my doubts too. In the first place, Satsuki-chan doesn't have a personality to kill. Even though she is resolute to this point. Like Mikori said, it would rather seem like we're choosing the wrong killer and we're gonna die together. That's not it at all. I was just telling the truth. What do I do? It's hard to make sure after identifying the killer. This attitude Satsuki has, it's a reaction that defies understanding, like Mikori said. Even like this, can I still point Satsuki as the culprit? Everyone stop. Why are you thinking about a crime? Why are you thinking that the crime is possible, but the reaction is weird? Wake up already. The crime is impossible, even for Satsuki. Why is that? But Kinjo, based on the testimony by Kurokawa, Hariko, Teruya, and Satsuki, entered their arsenal at dawn. Of them, Teruya was the first to come out of the arsenal, and then Hariko entered the arsenal. Because he was walking through the corridor with Satsuki just before this point, if they entered the arsenal together, then that means perhaps it was at this time that Hariko used a gun. Yeah, I still don't know why he used a gun, and this is likely to be true just by looking at the sound of the arsenal opening and Satsuki coming out alone from the corridor. Back off, Maeda, you said it with your own words just now. Satsuki kills Hariko and gets out of the arsenal all alone. If she came out, how did she lock the door then? Good point. I mean, I still think Hariko is the one who set that up. It's clear that you guys found and checked yourselves, right? It is impossible to block the door from the outside in that way. If so, the killer was in the arsenal at least until Maeda and Teruya opened the door. However, Satsuki came out of the arsenal before this. Does this sound like she could still be the killer? And if you look at Satsuki's reaction, that girl used a weapon, but it seems she doesn't know that the arsenal was blocked. So now what? Is Satsuki a ninja now? Huh? What was that again? Oh, wait, I know. Maybe you don't know, but what if you used a plank of wood as a barricade? It seems you were asleep during the trial. How about it? Is there anyone who still thinks Satsuki is the culprit? After listening to Kinjo, it seems that Satsuki is really not the culprit. In the end, the problem lies with the arsenal door being blocked. If we solve this, then there should be no problem even if Satsuki is the culprit. Even if you think about it again, it is impossible to put a wood plank inside the arsenal from the outside with grenades on it. There's no time frame at all. Haruiko did it. Did it. I think the current prerequisites were all wrong. The public here probably won't solve this mystery. I'd rather go back from the very beginning and reorganize the case instead. Well, that sounds nice and all, but I hate it when the trial is taking too long, don't you? It's not a warning, but you better wrap things up soon. The alibis of Dawn, Kurokaw's testimony, Teria's behavior, the wood plank that blocked the arsenal, and Satsuki's incomprehensible reaction. Maybe. Have we missed something else? Why does Satsuki have that attitude in the first place? Even Kinjo seems to be confused. Her reasoning is at the very core right now. I think Kinjo's right, blocking the door to Satsuki. This is a big problem. My mind is getting more and more complicated. Right now, this is the most important aspect of the case. The arsenal door, the wood plank, the grenades. How to block the door from the outside. Wait, you don't need to go back to the start. If you think about it a little, it should become clear. Haruiko blocked the door! It's no other waste of time. Wait a minute, what's the reason for the flash grenade and the smoke screen? At the moment the door opens, if the criminal hidden inside escapes through the light and smoke, then the trick is to block the arsenal from the inside. Is solved. But I'm afraid not. This was already mentioned. It's ridiculous when you think about Dark Circle's testimony at the very beginning. It's been seen that Teruya Otori and Satsuki Irinami, both of them came out of the arsenal. Inside the arsenal, the last one who came out was Satsuki, I'm sure. But opening the door and coming out of the arsenal means that the door was not blocked until the last moment. Well, in a word, doesn't that mean that the body of Haruko was left alone in the arsenal until just before Maeda and I opened the door together in the morning? What does that? It doesn't make sense. It wasn't that the body was alive and blocked the door alone. Oh no, this is starting to sound creepy somehow. Okay, I get it, man. I get it. I don't need all these hints. I get it. Haruiko blocked the door. I know. I get it. Huh? Tara, wait a second. What did you just say? It started to get creepy. No, not that. Before that. This is so stupid. The body moved and blocked the door like a zombie from a movie? Well, of course it won't. Such health sciences. Unscientific. It's like the bear in front of our very eyes. It's unscientific. Hey, what the heck did you just say? I'll have you know I'm a cutting-edge science product. The body moved and blocked the door. Of course, a reality like that does not exist. But as Teruya said earlier, it was Haru alone who remained in the arsenal until the end. No way. Could it be? Dude, I hate when they do this. Because, like, I had already figured it out, like, way earlier. And if they just asked me and I could feel smart about saying it, it would be, like, a cool moment. Because, like, I just feel smart. I feel good. But now they're giving so many hints that I just feel like my reasoning was wasted because they were just gonna tell me anyway. The person who blocked the door to the arsenal, that person's identity is. Okay, I'm gonna have to guess again because it's gonna be in Korean. Hopefully I get lucky. Oh my god, this is really long. Okay, surely it's this. Oh. Wait, how does this work? Oh, okay. Not that. Not that. Hello? Oh. I don't remember what I've tried. Not you. Okay, I might just look this up because I do not speak Korean. I think this was hang on. I think this was on this page that downloaded the game. Hang on. Let me look this up so I don't die here and have to restart. Okay. The first one, okay, I don't know. Okay, it's this one. Oh fuck, it went away. This one. Wait, how does it work? Oh, I need to press them. Okay, I forgot how it worked. Next one is this. Oh, that went away. Epic. After that is this. After that is this, I think. No, not that. This. And then... it's gonna restart again. I have to wait. At least they don't put you on a time limit. There you go. Could have just made us pick the character like when we choose the culprit or whatever. That's it. It has to be only him, the identity of the person who blocked the door to the arsenal. Really, Maida-kun, do you know who the killer is? I don't think you're about to say it was Kobashi Kawa-kun just because the body moved, right? I was just joking. No, thanks to Tara, I could come up with something else. That's right, the only one that could block the arsenal door was no one else other than Haruika. Eh? Haruika's the culprit? You're saying he committed suicide? What? Wait, have you forgotten? As Monokuma said, suicide is forbidden, and if you kill yourself in any way or form, he will treat it as a dog's death. Haruika was murdered by someone other than himself. I can't read, Jesus. That's why Monokuma treated this as a case, and a class trial was held like this. No, Maida never said that he committed suicide. He said that the person who blocked the door to the arsenal was Haruika. What? Like Maida said, the person who killed Haruika with a gun is the killer Satsuki. But it was impossible for Satsuki, the task of blocking the arsenal, but it was possible for Haruika. How about it? This means the reason why Satsuki can't be the culprit, it's not gone. No, that can't be possible. The fact that Haruika blocked the door to the arsenal is just a simple assumption. That may be possible in context, and there's no evidence of this. No evidence? No, there's proof of this. I don't mean ill will just because Haru blocked the door without any evidence. But Kinjo wouldn't be unaware of this evidence. Why does he argue so much? No, that's not brought up right now. Now the case comes first. The evidence that Haru may have blocked the arsenal door is... I'm actually not sure. The scattered guns, maybe? Oh, the blood trail, the blood trail. There's evidence, it's the blood. Blood? The blood that's splattered in the arsenal, everyone has seen it, right? Didn't you think it was a little strange looking? Oh, it certainly felt a little weird. It felt like, well, you know, like it was a road made by blood rather than a blood spot. That's right, it looks like bloodstains wandering around in the arsenal. After Haruika was shot, wouldn't it explain he was bleeding while looking for boards, flash, and smokescreen grenades? It is plausible, but would it be compelling that Haruika Kobashi himself locked the door of the arsenal simply by looking at his blood? It's not reasoning, but a realm of speculation. But it's not a contradiction. Only Haruika has a certain possibility, and even if the culprit dragged the body, there's no reason for it to only leave. There's no reason for it. It only leaves evidence behind. No, it is a contradiction. Kinjo. I can see that all Maida's words were all true, but Haruika was murdered by a very cruel killer. Let me ask a simple question. Why in the world would the victim help elaborating more tricks for the killer, if not to leave evidence of their crime? The answer is, you don't know about that. But if you wander around about emotional things and look at only the information left in the case, it makes sense that it is Haruika that just closed the door even with the process of elimination method. This is not about being emotional, this is about the victim helping the killer. There can't be such a thing. Stockholm Syndrome? I don't believe in any of that crap. That kind of thing is psychotic. Even that requires the premise that the killer had some kindness and gentle behavior towards their victim. But does this reflect reality? Did the killer show kindness to Haruika? No, rather they murdered them in cold blood. Maida's reasoning is the worst, not to mention forced and far-fetched. Hey, what is this Stockholm Syndrome? It's when victims are held hostages by a robber or kidnapper, but rather they think of them as their saviors. It's like a phenomenon that antagonizes rescuers, police, etc. And they take the criminal's side. Kinjo, it's weird. If you were the usual you would rather have ruled out such emotional things and reasoned it out by considering the logical situation. You said that I was being emotional? This is natural, you just don't see it. If the victim who deserves salvation agrees to the obvious evil, it becomes impossible to reason with. This choice is not logical here. Saving them is what I have to do. I can't leave alone your pretentious reasoning, and besides that, there are loopholes in Maeda's reasoning. I'll just do what I have to do. I'll refute you. Why does he sound like that? I'll correct that ridiculous reasoning, Maeda. What the hell are you doing? Kinjo, you know it's best... it's best that there's no more to refute here. You're making an acceptable reasoning from my point of view. That can't happen. And it shouldn't happen. And if there's anything to refute, then I'll do it, Maeda. No, I don't need an explanation. Tori's testimony, gunshot wound chest areas. Kirkov's testimony, oh god, I don't know. Probably gunshot wound chest area. Besides, if you listen to Inami, she tried to kill Haru by herself. She said she shot in self-defense. It's not enough to leave more clues on the culprit. Why would that help the killer with his own death? Oops. However, it's impossible for Satsuki to block the door of the arsenal. Tsurugi, you know that, right? At that point, it was only Hariko in the arsenal who could have done this. The unnatural bloodstains support this fact. Those are just blood splatters. It's impossible to kill and move the body. It's possible to kill and move the body. First, Ariko was shot in the chest. Without seeing anything, instant death. Okay. I mean, we're using his own testimony against him, so... Kinjo, that's wrong. Hariko did not die immediately. You can say what you want, Maeda. As I said, Hariko had his chest pierced. Since the bullet hit his body with a wound like that, he would have no choice but to die immediately. No, Hariko did not die immediately. His chest was struck, but the bullet penetrated through Hariko without getting stuck in his body. Because the amount of shock is relatively less than one that gets stuck, it would have been possible for him to move. Speculations. Anyone can make that claim. Stop it now, Kinjo. This is not speculation. It was you, Tsurugi Kinjo, who told me this. Gah! Incompetent. Is that true? If it's about the bullet pierced, of course, I'm well aware of it, but was it the cop who told you about this? Yes, during the investigation, I thought he had died because he was shot in the chest at first, but Kinjo told me. I heard that his death might not have been immediate, but he could have trouble breathing, so he was able to move for a little more time. At that time, I just said it as a guess only. Kinjo-kun, why are you arguing so much? In this case, it's like Kinjo-kun's a culprit. We named Satsuki-chan as a culprit, and Kobashikawa-kun did the back work. Why are you still arguing so much? Shut up, criminal. Hariko was murdered. He was also labeled as a victim that I had to protect. A victim who deserved protection. Was actually on the killer's side? That's something like that. It can't be. Kinjo. Yeah, I can't listen to this far-fetched logic. According to your logic, Kizuna Tomori was also a victim, but in reality, she was actually a terrifying bitch who was planning a crime. Are you saying that you would tolerate Tomori's murder plan? That's wrong. In that case, was she the accident, not the victim? Also, refuting such a subject to the incompetence which it was, Hariko Kobashikawa tried to kill Satsuki Irinami. It makes no sense to help him in a situation where it leaves more evidence to the culprit. Ah, but look here. The victim you had to protect was the reverse toward after trying to kill someone? What? They are very good citizens indeed. No. No. I am. What the hell am I for? For so many days. For... Kinjo? Kinjo! Kinjo-kun is down! Kinjo, wake up! Kinjo. Hey, hold it right there, we're still on trial. I don't admit going out of the courtroom at your own will. But Kinjo's... Oh, this is a headache, fainting and getting upset during a trial. It's a taboo to get out from the courtroom during the trial. But I guess it can be helped. Kinju-kun, I'll take him to the dormitory. You guys don't have to move. Stay in your seats. Okay. Everyone's been waiting for a while, right? Kinju-kun arrived safely to his dorm bed, so don't worry about it and let's continue the trial. But this doesn't make things fun. Now Kinju-kun is outside the courtroom. The fact that he was sent out means that he wasn't the culprit. Now the number of people is decreased by 1. Dun dun dun. Kinjo, I'm sure he'll be okay. It's the first time that Kinjo looked like that. As Monokuma said, we're still on trial. Forget about him for now. He's not even dead, is he? Alright. So, where did we left off? The culprit is Satsuki. She couldn't block the door to the arsenal. Only Haruka. Is it okay to make this decision then? Does anyone have a different opinion? A different opinion. I think that's the only thing we have. There's no disagreement, of course, it's logical. As Kinjo Tsurugi said, I also don't understand why Haruka Kobashikawa, in the victim's position, helped the killer. Well, I don't know either. After all, it's like we won't get a different decision now, right? Then if you name me as a culprit, there will be no complaints and no one will be dissatisfied. Wait, not yet. Huh? What else? You said that there was no reason to disagree? Why did Haruka Kobashikawa help the killer? And why the killer is so excited? Eek! The same goes for me. Satsuki, the reasoning about this case is over. Perhaps only looking at the reasoning result. I can't argue that Satsuki is the culprit. However, why? Why call yourself the killer? Are you trying to die? Huh? Why, you ask? Well, like I said earlier, it became a nuisance, so that's a good reason, right? I'm not good at lying, but I think I do better than Satsuki-chan. Don't mess around. You'll be executed if you let this go. But if you die, the truth of this case will remain as a matter that will be solved. I'm a woman who doesn't give up until I know 100% the problem I've challenged. Please tell us, Satsuki, if you really are the culprit, you have a duty to take responsibility for your actions. Tell me, when I thought I was the culprit, all I could do was get blamed. What are you trying to hide? Let us hear it, Satsuki. I don't know, I'm just a culprit, that's all I am. What? She started shouting. I don't know, baka, 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 baka. Okay, Cherno. Satsuki. As long as she stays like that, we'll have to force you to open your mouth, Satsuki. Don't say it like that. About the secret of this incident in which Haru was involved and the reason for your actions and claiming that you were the real culprit all along. Okay, I'm good on this. Wait, do I remember the controls, actually? Is it shift to reload, right? Okay, I gotta lock in for this because it's actually hard. Yeah. I'm actually doing really well compared to previous times. Oh, what the fuck? That was a jump scare. The reason it's over, everything was explained. You have nothing more to say. The other pistol that broke Haru's hand. No, wait, I pressed down before up. Okay, wait, can I? Okay. I thought it would have put me back on the mini game. I pressed up before down, but I pressed down before up, but it doesn't have input buffer, and I was still like animation locked. So the reasoning isn't over yet, Satsuki. Eh? It's already over. No, it's not. There's one more thing we've overlooked and crossed. Does anyone recall? Eh? Was there anything like that? As Satsuki-chan said, wasn't the reasoning over? It's about the pistol that destroyed Haruka Kobashikawa's right hand. That's right, because we decided it was Teria's doing earlier, we went over it. Actually, if you think a little bit, it wasn't Teria that destroyed Haruka's right hand. What are you saying? That makes no sense, Maeda. I replaced the bullet, and Haruka grabbed it, and his right hand got wounded. Stupid fool. If what you say is true, the gun he touched should have been shot at as well. Why would we have one more remaining intact? Oh right, come to think of it, even when Otori-kun was rushed as the culprit, he said he didn't know why it ended up like that. That's right, I was freaking out for excuses. When I think about it again, if I used the gun that I modified, that gun should have blown up. Teruya, are you sure you didn't touch 2 guns? Right, I can assure you this, trust me, I only touched one gun unconditionally. Wait a minute, then won't it get even more weird? Unless Teruya-kun did it, why did Kobashikawa-kun get caught in the same trap Otori-kun did and injured his right hand? That can't be deduced by us alone. Except for one person, Satsuki. I don't know. No, you most likely know why. Satsuki, don't you remember? At the beginning of the class trial, you said Haruko tried to shoot you. And then you grabbed the gun and shot him in self-defense and ended up killing him. From here on out, it's just my thought. If Satsuki's words were true, wouldn't it have been that Haruko knew the gun would explode? He knew it was going to explode? Deliberately breaking his hand? Was he trying to commit suicide? Maybe so. Let me tell you this. This is just unfounded imagination. Just listen for now. I don't know how someone changed the bullets in the same manner that Teruya did, but it probably was Haruko himself who did it. Yeah. Since the second half of the trial, the word suicide continued to rattle. Because this case was just too weird to see it as an ordinary murder scenario. But in the end, Haruko did not commit suicide, because Monokuma doesn't deal with suicides, even if he wanted to commit the act. He wouldn't have done it because it just ends as a wasted death. So perhaps he thought about it like this. Was Haruko trying to save Satsuki? Try to save her? Deliberately aiming at Satsuki, the gun that explodes when shooting. Sorry about that. The gun that explodes when shooting, surprised, Satsuki shoots in response. Even if she shot the floor, she doesn't get hurt, and only his hand flies away. And because Satsuki's shot hit him, his death wasn't treated as a suicide. Later, when Satsuki leaves in surprise, he remains alone in the arsenal. He himself does the extra effort to make the case even more complicated. Like, for example, blocking the door to the arsenal and messing with the guns. Well, of course, there's no evidence of this, it's just my imagination. The fact that Haruko blocked the door seemed to be trying to help the killer. So I thought about it as a basis. Haruko, in order to save Satsuki, means he gave up his life? Hold on, that's plausible, but you always finish with the line as your imagination. There's a 0% chance that the incompetent words are true. Why? I was listening to Maida-kun and I was rather thinking that was the truth. Think first, he gave up his life and tried to save someone else? Humans aren't that simple. They would be afraid to do it, even in an ordinary circumstance. But it would even be more unreasonable. Sorry. In an extreme situation where there's no food and living like us. But not long ago, Atano, for Taira, she threw away her life. Ayami-chan. That's not the case now. At that time, even the most extreme situation wasn't there, and she didn't save Akane Taira with 100% pure intentions. Did you forget? Ayami Atano clearly had a desire to save Akane Taira, but she also wanted to escape from here. She committed murder with such a sloppy heart, although she eventually revealed her true face to us. However, in the case of Haruko Kobashikawa, like Ayami Atano, there's not a single reason for themselves. According to the incompetent, he gave up his life 100% purely to only save Satsuki. No matter how close Haruko Kobashikawa was with Satsuki Irinami, it would be absurd to say that they were family members and gave up their lives in these extreme circumstances. Of course, if that's true, then it deserves my respect. I know what I said, it was an unfounded idea, you didn't really have to refute it like that. Of course, I'm not saying it's absolutely impossible like that crazy cop. I don't think so. But it's absurd. If you had been thinking of Satsuki Irinami like that, he would have done something earlier, but I don't have a clue. But if Maida-kuns are wrong, how would you describe the reason for Kobashikawa-kun's right hand? I'll have to think about that more. As expected, it's not going to work out the way I thought. It seems like it's too absurd, as Makaru says, and it's very difficult for someone to make a decision in order to save her life to the point of even giving up his life. Anyway, there's no objection that Satsuki is the culprit, is there? Do we really want to go over Haruko's right hand? I'd like this wrapped up as soon as possible. I'm getting bored of it. No, but we have to know the truth of this case. It's true. What? Yukio, you're psychic? It's exactly as if you read someone's mind. What are you talking about? I don't feel like an adult to keep trying to hide it and be a nuisance to all of you. I don't think the trial will ever be over at this rate. And as Yuki said, as long as you commit a murder, you gotta be responsible for it. Satsuki. Where should I start? Oh yeah, since Kabazing came to my room early in the morning, you know. Until this moment came, I couldn't imagine how everything played out. Who is it? Kabazing? What's wrong? Going around at dawn like this, you'll get hungry. I think I'm going to die hungry, then killed. Ugu. Okay. Satsuki, this is not a joke, so listen seriously. I have something to say to you. Kabazing? Okay, alright, tell me. It will take a little time. Follow me for a minute. Kobashikawa, isn't this the arsenal? Why this place? Satsuki, is your body okay? You haven't eaten anything in a few days now. Is it painful? Yeah, I'm hungry enough to die, but except for that, I'm fine. Well, what's this all of a sudden? It's giving me goosebumps. Actually, I have a favor to ask you. What do you want to ask? Kill me. What are you saying? Did you commit a sin for being a perv? I get it. It is delightful that Kabazing is lusting for his girls, but it's not enough to kill you. I said I wasn't playing around. Eek, sorry. No, it was my bad. Sorry, I shouted out of nowhere. But damn it, how do I explain this? Kobashikawa, are you about to die? I've been thinking all this time. When this division was born, it was our fault, right? Even if we had a little more food left, it wouldn't have been so serious. I can't deny it. Besides, until now, Kinjo was guarding the arsenal, so no murder occurred. But eventually, Kinjo went crazy. No one is guarding the arsenal right now. If we don't make a decision now, someone will definitely commit a murder. That's what Kobashikawa wants to say. Okay. You mean that the two of us who are the most guilty will take responsibility? Honestly, I didn't want to involve you. It was me who first suggested to eat the food. I wanted to end up by dying if I could. But I remembered Monokuma's words. A murder case must happen in order to escape the ballroom, and suicide is not accepted. In the end, you can't solve it alone, so you need someone else's help, but the person who helps you will also be bound to be executed for being the culprit. So I'll be in risk of death too. Yeah, I've no other person to suggest, only Teruya or you, who committed the same crime. But you know, me and him are in bad ways right now. Of course, I have no intention of recommending this, but the moment you accept this, you will die, Satsuki. Okay, I'll cooperate. What? I'm saying I'll do what Kabazing wants? So suddenly like this, will you be okay with it? That you're going to die? Well, even if we're in the ballroom, we're gonna die anyways. That's not what Rather than staying still like this and watching my friends become murderers, or starving them to death, I prefer to save everyone and die with Kabazing. Satsuki, damn it, I'm really sorry. Because of me, you really are a good girl. However, there's only one condition. What condition? I don't want to kill Kabazing, so Kabazing kill me. What? What are you talking about? It's the same no matter what way we die, but why do you want to die by my hand? If I become the culprit, I'll be executed by Monokuma then. I hate that. I'd rather be killed by Kabazing. I'm going to grab a gun in the arsenal here anyways and kill me, but do you think it hurts a lot when you're shot? It's not a pain or a problem. I don't like being killed by a thing like Monokuma. You don't want to? No, there's no way I can kill you. The same goes for me. How can I kill Kabazing? There will be no end to this. Instead of fighting, why don't we sit down with this nonsense? It is because Kabazing first looks at me and suggests the impossible thing to kill him. If you can't, why did you accept them? Then don't do it. That's no good. I've already decided. Then kill me already. Again, I can't do that. I really value Kabazing, so killing my friend is... I'm not happy that I'm your favorite, okay? Wow, Kabazing's face is blushing. Alright, idiot, I'm talking about an important thing here and we're going back and forth. I'm not messing around. Oh, my stomach hurts because I haven't eaten anything. Are you okay? You know, we don't have much time either. It's a fact that I might die tomorrow. Well, you have a couple weeks left, I'm pretty sure, until you literally die of starvation. In the meantime, the others may be in pain or planning a murder. Everyone's in trouble. Satsuki, what if we do it like this? Have you ever seen a Western movie? Western movie? Haven't seen it, but I know what it is. They walk back and forth in a courtyard, then turn around and shoot at the same time after some time passes? Yeah, let's decide with that. In the worst case of this, we could kill each other, but it's still not suicide, so the others will be able to live. It's uncomfortable that I have to shoot Kabazing, but okay, that would be fair. Let's do it with that. Alright, if it's decided, let's move. Pick one pistol. Kabazing, you're still not done? What's taking you so long to pick a gun? Wait a minute, almost done. Yeah, that's when you put the wrong bullet. Okay, are you ready, Satsuki? I'm not a girl who goes back on her word. Besides, it seems to be more fun to decide this way. Fun, you say. I already said it again and again, but seriously. I mean, we play a lot of games so far, right? Basketball, running, poker, darts. As a result of doing my best without looking at our fights at all, the total was equal. Was it like that? I remember the result of all our previous matches, so probably so far. Kabazing and I had 14 matches, 6 wins, 6 losses, and 2 draws in perfect balance. When the fuck did you guys have time to do all this? You really have a good memory on useless places. Suddenly, I thought this was the last game, so it made me feel strange. I can't believe that I'm risking my life at all. If you want to give up now, you can tell me. I really don't want to force you. No, because I'm serious too. Like Kobashikawa said, I'll stop playing around. Are you ready? Yeah. From here, go back and take 3 steps. We'll shoot at the same time after that. Okay. Satsuki! Hariko! I see. How the fuck did his fingers end up all the way over there? Kobashi-ka? Kobashikawa, Hariko, why did you do this? Good, Satsuki. The last game was my victory. That's not what I mean. Why did Kobashikawa's hand explode? Sorry. I saw it. This is unbelievable. Let's do it again. I was worried about what would happen if I died immediately in case I was hit in a bad spot. Fortunately, it looks like I'm still alive. I'll tell you what I can. Sorry, Satsuki, I lied. Because you killed me and wanting to save everyone. That's not the truth. What? Who I really wanted to save was you, Satsuki. Me? Cough. It was useless information, so I didn't tell the others because it would just confuse them, but I was searching for a few days and I found a badge with the head of Monokuma on it. Because I found it, Monokuma appeared and said he would give it as a prize and congratulated me on finding the treasure. That's the treasure, Monokuma said? It was really here? There, it showed me a photo of me and you, kissing, doing a selfie. Kobashikawa, even at a time like this, what kind of joke? It's real. It shows a commemorative photo with you as my lover. You shouldn't forget. And then it vanished. Kobashikawa and we've never done such a thing. It's the same for me too. There are no memories of pictures of me and you, let alone kissing. We met here for the first time a month ago. But why? It doesn't feel hard. Even if that photo was a manipulation, I felt unknown emotions. And I thought that I didn't want to let you die. I have no idea what you're saying, Kobashikawa. Stop it. It's too cheesy. Put up with it. I'm already going to die anyways. I wanted to say this much. That maybe I've liked you after some point. Even if I die like this. There are guys like Kinjo and Karu and Maeda, so they'll find out about this in a minute. We're in the smart gang now? Nice, man. We're included with the smart people? So you better go back to your room. Act as usual. Pretend you don't know anything. Leave the rest to me. Why are you saying that, Kobashikawa? Stop it. Stop talking. No matter how much they think, they won't know that I, the victim, did all these tricks. Part of it was to pretend to shoot you on purpose and give away my right hand. It's a pretty old gun. It can explode while pulling the trigger, even if you put normal bullets in the magazine. Cough. Kobashikawa, you can't die. No, I'm going to die. And Satsuki, you can live. Leave it to me. I can't make someone as cheerful and happy as you die like this. Kobazing. I'm sorry for doing this in such a crappy way. And when the trial is over, tell the other guys that you're sorry too. I'm sorry that I fought with Teruya. I'm sorry for sacrificing Kinjo and the others. I'm sorry that my feelings don't want Satsuki to sacrifice herself. Going on for a while, huh? Ow, damn it. It hurts real badly. Kobeizing, don't move, don't die. Of course, I'm doing this in order to die. Once you leave, I have to get the job done. You have to go now before someone sees this. I hate this. This is wrong. I want to save you. Please go. Because this is my last wish. Please listen. If I want you to live. But leave. Yeah, just do that. Thank you, Satsuki. Whether it was real or fake, I still loved you. Oh yeah, we're still in the trial. And then I went back to my room. As Kobashikawa said, I stayed still until morning. I didn't know what trick Kobashikawa was going to do at the time. I wasn't sure until I heard your story in the trial. This is all I know. Like Yuki said, Kobeizing was killed by me while intentionally trying to save me, in order to confuse you while doing so. In other words, he did everything in order to save me. What is this? This is too much. Hariko was apologizing to me, and I tried to kill him. I sniffed. I see now. If he saw the letter sent by Teruya, he wouldn't go to the arsenal. Nevertheless, the reason Kobashikawa went to the arsenal was because Hariko didn't even notice Teruya's letter from the very beginning. It was only to sacrifice himself and to save only Satsuki. Hold on, then why? Why did he do it the same way as Teruya Otori? The gun exploded in his hand the same way. Unless he did some kind of trick and did it in advance. That's what I thought too. But when Hariko chose a gun, he was doing something in the corner for a long time. He was the kind of guy who was telling me that guns weren't fun or usual, so I wonder if he had some kind of knowledge about them. The stupid idiot, he really gave up his life for others? And you just kicked the opportunity that you arranged to let you survive? What were you thinking? I don't understand this at all. I know that Kobashikawa liked me and he didn't want to do this. After all this, I've been struggling a lot since then, until the clash trial was held. I don't think that's the way. It's so unreasonable for all of you to die for just one person, right? I feel sorry for betraying Kobashikawa, but I'll be happy if you guys live. How can that be? Blood-related familiar actions are a law that puts one's life most importantly, you, for people you just met. Well, I'm not as smart as Mikaru, so I don't think I can give you a very cool reason for it. I just told myself that I was the culprit, because it makes me convince myself that I did this. But then why? Why didn't you say everything from the very beginning and hide the truth more suspiciously? Because you didn't even say the backstory, you just said that you're the killer, so it's rather confusing reasoning. That was because of Kobashikawa. He decided to take a chance between all of you in order to save me. Because of this, especially if Kinjo found out, it would seem from Kobashikawa's view, who had already died, that I would have insulted him. I did not want to do anything that would put more disgrace on Kobashikawa anymore. Because he already died to try to save my life. That's why I told you at the end. Still, don't think badly of Kobashikawa. He wouldn't have thought of this, and if it wasn't for Kobashikawa, we would have all died. Such a thing is not possible. Masaka. Satsuki-chan, are you really satisfied with that? Even if we live, you'll die. No, I'm fine dying, but why are you also worried? I'm very fine with my choice. No matter what happens, don't forget to smile. It's one of the teachings of my own brother, and it's my belief too. But after Hariko died, you cried, right? That's off topic. Please just think Satsuki wasn't Satsuki for a minute. Satsuki. Yuki. Thanks to Yuki, I was able to do everything. Rather, I feel relieved. Oh yeah, I was impressed to see Maida come up with the whole truth about Kobashikawa. Yuki is a real teacher in my heart. Well then, Yuki. I think we can finish the trial soon. Give me that thing you always do at the end. Do we need to? Do I really need to? That. Yeah, that. Climax reasoning. Let's go. Nah, I'm good. I'll save my thoughts. Tears are ready. Come on, don't say that. I think I'm gonna save my thoughts for the trial till it actually ends. I won't say my piece right now. Putting the leather under the door here, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, we're saying he didn't notice the letter. Wait, okay, yeah. Yeah, and then they argue, then fucking Kabushikawa's hand exploded. And then Haruko yeah, he wandered around getting blood everywhere, and then he blocked the door with the thing. Oh, okay. Other way around. Sure. I like how his fucking hair tip gets its own square. First, this case begins with not from the criminal nor the victim, but from Teruya. Teruya couldn't stand the extreme situation and began working on a plan to kill Haruko, the victim of this case. Teruya first started to write a note to Haruko, asking him to come to the arsenal. This was done with the paper and pen that only Teruya had in the ballroom, where there was nothing else other than weapons. Teruya, who had finished writing the note, then puts the note through the doorframe of Haruko's room. This was the same way that Mitch did in the first murder. Then Teruya, who put the note safely into the room, first entered the arsenal before Haru arrives. This was in order to do some work. That task was to load non-silent bullets into a pistol magazine. When a person shoots the pistol in that state, the gun explodes from the inside and destroys the hand of the person who used it. Teruya used this method to let Haru use the gun and thinking of making him shoot. And that's the reason he went into the arsenal before anyone else. Having done everything he needed to do, Teruya quickly returned to his room and waited for Haru to come out of the room. Teruya's plan was to enter the arsenal later on with Haru. However, as Teruya returns to his room and stays on watch of the hallway, he fell asleep due to the accumulated fatigue. This was everything Teruya had influence on in this case. Meanwhile, at the time, Haruko was probably having a lot of trouble thinking in his room. As we just heard, Haru was already planning to have someone dear to them at the cost of his own life. Originally, he felt responsible for running the food out, but the discovery of the treasure was triggered to start this life-threatening plan. As the situation gets more extreme, Haruko feels like he can't wait any longer and begins acting. He decides to meet with the person who was chosen as the culprit for this case. At this time, whether Haruko saw Teruya's note or not is uncertain, but it's very likely he didn't pay attention to it in the first place, because he was immersed in his own thoughts. Haruko's plan was also a plan that took place in the arsenal, but if he saw the note calling him into the arsenal, he wouldn't have headed there in the first place. Either by luck or misfortune, if Teruya hadn't fallen asleep, a fairly complicated mess would have unfolded. After a while, Haruko safely met the culprit. Until then, the culprit hadn't even realized the true purpose of this case. Haruko asked the culprit to quietly follow them into the arsenal. They went into the arsenal side by side. Holy shit, creepy. One may have thought no one would know, but in fact, all of the actions that Teruya and those two were doing while walking around the corridor up to this point were being shown to Kurokawa. She wasn't sleeping from the very start and was keeping watch of the hallway. Literally Furudo Erika, by the way. In actuality, it was Kurokawa that was up that put most of the weight into solving the mystery of this case. Because Teruya went to sleep, the killer and Haru entered the arsenal without anyone's interference. Only then Haruko, who is alone with the culprit, confessed his feelings for them. I think it went this way. Someone was going to do the murder and asked them to kill themselves before that to save everyone. This is what they asked the culprit to do. Once they accept, the culprit would also be executed for committing a murder. It was certain death, so Haruiko didn't want to force them into making such a difficult task. But the culprit did not hesitate to respond to Haru's proposal. However, the culprit refused to kill Haruiko himself. Conversely, they told Haru to kill them instead. Haruko did not want to kill the culprit, as the culprit did not want to kill him, and they kept arguing to each other in vain for a while. Haruko, who felt there would be no end after going like this, was determined to make a fair suggestion to both sides and asked a decision to shoot each other at the same time, just like a game in a Western movie. In the worst case scenario, both could have been shot and died by each other's hand. It didn't violate the two's goal of saving the others. So the culprit agreed with this proposal and began preparing. Let me drink some water. The culprit and Haruko were choosing a gun for each other, and we heard that Haruko was in the corner of the room. This was probably to manipulate the magazine with the bullets at this phase. We all know the consequence of this. Indeed, Haruko did the same thing as Teruya did earlier, was to load it with non-standard bullets. How Haruko did the same thing as Teruya, I'm not exactly sure whether it was coincidence or not. Maybe it was because Haruko, who had a lot of interest in firearms from the beginning, so I think he accidentally came up with that method by pure chance. Either way, there is only one reason Haruko did this. He didn't want to shoot the culprit. The two of them, ready to go, stand a few steps away and pointed their guns at each other after turning around. But even though the culprit sincerely tried to shoot Haruko, he was going to lose to them from the very beginning. And so, as Haruko intended, his hand was destroyed and he was shot by the culprit at the same time. The culprit, who couldn't understand the situation, ran to Haruko. Then Haru told them the truth. It wasn't Hus that Haru really wanted to save, it was the culprit themselves. Although Haruko was dying, he was hoping that the culprit could survive, and he said he would do the best to save them since he still was breathing to do one last act. The culprit was unconvinced, but soon decided to accept Haruko's last request, and left Haru to do the job. They got out of the arsenal. Of course, the trail of this was also being monitored by Kurakawa. After confirming that the culprit was safely gone, Haruko began a final cleanup while keeping his short life as much as he could. First, Haruko picked up the flash and smoke grenades from the arsenal. And likewise, put a wooden plank inside the arsenal door between the handles and then put the flash and smoke grenades on top of it. This could only be done by the people inside, and thanks to that, there was a lot of difficulty when we tried to reason it out. The plank served to make the door to be forced open while being crushed, causing the grenades on top to naturally fall on the floor and activate. Subsequently, Haruko started messing around in the arsenal to make it look like the culprit did it, although it didn't connect to anything. Yeah, actually, we had a truth bullet about the guns being scattered everywhere, but that was literally never used, right? Because usually in the official games, every truth bullet is used at least once. Huh. So I guess we can have red herrings in this. Maybe we had some in the previous cases and I just didn't notice. And as a result of repeating a series of processes of blocking the door and cluttering the interior, Haruko's bloodstains were all over the place. Inside the arsenal, creating an unnatural bloodstain like a pad of blood. Haru finished everything just before his life ended, to reach to his feelings of satisfaction, because he was able to save someone they cherished. But in the end, later in the trial, the culprit confessed by their own will. However, we weren't able to know that it was Haruko who planned all of this. All of this happened at dawn, and later in the morning, Teruya and I broke into the arsenal and Haruko's body was found. In fact, in this case, the person who would be called the culprit was close to Haruko, and the culprit who just lost his life was the victim himself, who actually finished the trick. But in the end, Haruko wanted to save the culprit even at the cost of his life. The culprit of this incident, the identity of the killer who Haruko cherished and wanted them to live so much. Whoa! Nice music. Satsuki Uranami. It was you. Perfect, indeed. Maida has good reasoning, but maybe you have a talent for organizing cases too? I'm not happy at all. Satsuki Uranami. Satsuki-chan. Why is the mood so sad? I didn't go out to see you like this. Satsuki, you've always been like that. You're a strong girl. Much more stronger than me. Is that a compliment? Hehehe. I don't know if it's strength or not, but even at times like these, it's my goal to be happy even in the worst atmosphere. Well then, Maida's reasoning is over now. Shall we get to the voting time? Satsuki, can you really do that? To just die and not be scared? I don't want to die, of course I'm scared, but it's already gone water. What else can I do but to accept it? At least not all of you will die, because you all can live by sacrificing only one. I'm satisfied with that. Okay, my thoughts on the trial? Okay, more so than expected, I pretty much predicted like literally everything. The only thing I didn't expect, the only thing I didn't fully solve was like the whole thing with like, oh, fucking Hariko set up the trap on his gun himself and blew up his own hand. But like I said before the case, it's either he killed himself or Satsuki did it, and it was kind of both. So I kind of have a problem with this trial. But I mean, as you can see, there were only 7 phases. It was really, really short, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it also felt really simple. Like I said it before we started, that my prediction was that this was going to be like an emotional trial, like case 4 in Danganronpa 1. But like, I feel like case 4 in DR1, it was still like a case, you know, like there was stuff to figure out. This one I felt like it was really obvious, especially with Satsuki literally saying she's the killer at the beginning, and us being like, nah, you're not the killer. What are you saying? Just shut up. Like, I don't know. Yeah, and the mystery just didn't feel very satisfying, honestly. Yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm gonna think. Because I'm thinking, like, why did I not like this case? But I liked. I guess when I think about it, literally every case 4 in the Danganronpa games are like the emotional case, right? Like in DR1, in DR2, and in V3. The case 4 is always like, oh, this is a sad one. They're never my favorite, honestly. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really vibe with this one. Oh yeah, another thing. I did correctly predict that Satsuki and that either Satsuki was a culprit or Haruko killed himself, and it was those two things exactly. But like, my guess was like mostly based on vibes. Like, if you're actually looking at the evidence you had before entering the trial, I don't think you had enough evidence to like make that call, really. I don't really like that, because they gave you a lot of evidence during the trial. I think it's good when the case is solvable before the trial, because that's just how I like to play these games. But I feel like I kind of wasted my time trying to solve this when like 95% of it was very obvious, and the last 5% there was just no way I could know. Anyway. Hey, Mr. Uranami, why do you keep trying to go ahead of the trial here? I'm the host. Oh well, it doesn't matter. It seems like you guys reached a conclusion. And that's all. Now you guys vote with the switch in front of your hands. Who will be chosen as the blackened? And your answer, will it be the correct answer or the wrong one? Now then, what's it going to be? feel like I kept suspecting Satsuki for like every murder before this. I also suspected her of being the mastermind as well. I guess with her being dead here, the mastermind is definitely just us, right? It's definitely just Yuki. The voting ended unanimously. The culprit of this case on the Blackened is the identity of the Blackened who killed Kobashikawa-kun was Miss Satsuki Irinami. You guys were right. Congratulations. Actually, what is with this case? A murder case that's not a murder? If I knew it would be like this, I would have made the rules more thoroughly. Hey, isn't it already too late? Hey, everyone? You guys are doing it badly. I, as the person in charge of this party, can you please be a little brighter? Oh yeah, another thing I forgot to mention, the trial was really short. And I did mention it, but I just wanted to emphasize it more. Like, it felt like half the length of the chapter 3 trial. Even the chapter 2 one was way longer. Anyway. There's no way I can be happy. Satsuki-chan is going to die now. Because it's painful. Satsuki worked so hard for us, trying her own life. We couldn't do anything even after reaching this point. You're wrong. It's not that you can't do anything. Satsuki? Yuki, didn't I tell you before? Hope is not to be found, but to be created. So, you know why I decided to save you all by sacrificing myself? Because that was my own way of creating hope. What do you mean? If I survived by myself, it would have been meaningless to live in a world where there's no fun and no gazing around. And more than anything, my power to defeat that guy is not enough. Oh? I'm smiling right now, but I'm more angry than anyone inside. I hate the mastermind, don't you guys? You're being treated like this because of that big dummy. If it wasn't for him, Kobashikawa wouldn't have died. Maki died, Higa died, Tamori died, Hatano died. Yamaguchi wouldn't have died, Hinori wouldn't have died, or Uehara either. We know that, even if we don't say it. If it wasn't for Monokuma's influence, we would have entered Hope Speak safely and have a pleasant school life. That's right. Although more than half of our friends have already died, I want to defeat Monokuma no matter what happens. I want to punish it. I want to smash it. Hey, why are you saying all that stuff in front of someone else's faces? So, I'll bet my own hope on all of you. On us? I never wanted much. I'll be leaving this world soon. I just have one thing. No, wait. Please promise me 2 things. 1. Be sure to survive for Kabazing and me. 2. That Monokuma guy. Please, give it a good beating to the mastermind. Full paid revenge. Satsuki-chan. This is bad, really bad. You dare agitate the students as you want in front of me? The headmaster of the school even insult me in my presence? Annoying! Anyway, Mr. Ranami was chosen as the Blackened, so he's to be punished in the end. You won't make fun of me anymore when I'm done with you. In that regard, I've prepared a very special punishment for the ultimate clown. Satsuki Irinami, for your crime, come and give it your best shot. I'm not afraid of anything like you. My friends will definitely kick your sorry butt. Wait, Satsuki, you don't need to be executed. I'd rather die. It's my fault too. I'm a sinner too. It was me who tried to commit a murder. I'm supposed to die. Monokuma executed me. Satsuki's done nothing wrong. Now then, let's go! A very hard-pounding punish. Monokuma, hold on a minute. Time. What? Geez, you're tipsy. Way to ruin my mood. Let me say to my friends a few last words. Teruya, didn't someone tell you? No one is bad. Monokuma is the bad thing here. Everything is because of that thing. If Teruya keeps feeling guilty, then try harder to catch the mastermind. You don't need to be sorry at all, but if you die and make atonement, then that's the end. Satsuki. And for you, Tara is strong. You have a very strong heart to overcome Ayama's death. Please keep supporting everyone like you always do. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Satsuki-chan, thank you. Next is Mikaru. It's the first time I've seen Mikaru act so surprised. I don't know what makes her so surprised about, but as long as Kinjo is in that shape, everyone needs a genius like Mikaru. I know this is kind of an unreasonable request, but please try to cooperate with everyone. And find the mastermind who brought this terrible misfortune on all of its victims. And Kurokawa. Stop! Shut up! Who said I was waiting for your long speech? Don't say anything disgusting with the smell of hope. Punishment time begins! Hey, that's too much. When the villain is found out, you're supposed to wait for them. Let's go hard. Punishment time. Krokar and Maida, I didn't get to say anything to you guys, but I'll leave the rest to you guys. Oh, and one more thing. I almost forgot. Kobezing, I love you. Aww. That's a weird fucking sprite. She gonna be shot out of a cannon? Oh. Satsuki Crisis. Yeah, that's definitely the most painful punishment so far. Because Hayame and Huehara died instantly. I guess Mitch did get thrown around in the football stadium, but you know. Boo-hoo, they ended up like that, trying to play a hopeless game. Adios, funny red-nosed lady. That's a great line. That's a great line. Satsuki-chan, no. Damn it, damn it. What do you think? Sad, right? Desperate, isn't it? What a lame hope. You guys won't be able to do a thing before you punish me. No, it isn't. Or was that Maida? Who says I'm desperate? I'm not like that at all, right? Maida-kun. Of course, I'm really sad that Satsuki died. But we have fully inherited Satsuki's will. You won't stop us anymore. After I came to Hope Speak Academy, I'm more full of fighting spirit than ever. Monokuma. Did you suddenly take your medicine? There's nothing scary about burning raw spirit alone, though. He's not alone. Mikaru? From this moment on, I will retract my previous solo actions. I'll cooperate. Holy shit, base Mikaru? To put Monokuma into the trash. Oh my god, Mikaru-chan, what kind of change is this? Don't be mistaken. I'm not trying to play friends here. I now owe a debt. Because of that, I have to pay it off. Why is Miss Mikaru suddenly doing this again? Miss Mikaru just needs to do as well as before. Poking around and having fun. Why should you care about Miss Irinami? Shut the hell up. Irinami Satsuki is a human being that deserves respect. I've seen this for the first time ever since I was born in this world. To be able to give up one's life so purely for others. That is what I would call true hope. It was a life that guy tried to save anyways. I'm fed up with murder games that aren't fun. Murder games that are getting boring. Doesn't that seem like the perfect time to beat you down? Monokuma? No, rather the mastermind controlling you from the shadows. Huh? No matter what you try, you can't do anything. It's already beyond your own grasp. No. It was you who kept us in the ballroom. We made up our minds. Right before they died. You will run out of ideas. We already know a lot more about you than you can imagine. Now it's you who's cornered. Well, I don't know, but everyone's working hard, so I will too. I'll do my share for Horiko's sake. Me too, we'll definitely get you, Monokuma. I'll avenge my friends who have died so far. What's with these guys? Rather than despairing, they're burning with fighting spirit. You guys are bluffing. You can't do a thing anyway. You'll find out soon. That you're only left with despair. And so the 4-class trial ended. Don't we have like 6 people left? We lost 2 of our friends, Hariko and Satsuki, who couldn't be exchanged for anything. The will that the 2 gave us was definitely engraved in our very souls. We're not afraid. A step by step from now on will be a big leap towards true hope. Oh yeah, Kinjo. Yeah. Kinjo, can you hear me? Answer me if you're awake. Immediately after leaving the courtroom, Mikaru, who finally offered to cooperate with us, disappeared before you could call her. Okay. Not fully cooperating, but... Everyone except for Mikaro went to check on Kinjo's condition. However, Kinjo was silent. We had no choice but to go back to each of our rooms with a little cluttered feeling. Someone's knocking on our door. What? Who is it? Is it morning? It's not even 7 AM. Hey, come out already, Maida. What? Wait a minute. Why did you take so long to answer? Was it because to feed information to the mastermind? Oh fuck, she's on to us. Mikaru? What? That's a moody expression you got. No, it was just Mikaru coming to my room. I wonder if the sky's gonna divide in two now. It can't be helped. As I mentioned yesterday, I decided to cooperate with you. In order to defeat the mastermind. I know that, but... why did you suddenly change your mind? She told us! I told you, I'm going to follow Irinami's idea. Atana was a great person, but Irinami is more than that, just because she's a human who can. As if, Maida, don't make me say useless things. You're always drowned in every story, aren't you? Sorry, also, now you're calling me by my name now. So, are you dissatisfied? Want to be called incompetent for the rest of your life? No, of course not. It's better to be called by my own name. It was a bit embarrassing to be nicknamed incompetent, though it was accurate. I haven't admitted it yet. I don't want to be friends, but I want to have the least courtesy, as long as I have decided to cooperate. Mikari tends to be weird like this. Usually she looks down on us and ignores us, but she doesn't do it recklessly. She admits something that can be admitted whenever necessary. I have no idea what that's trying to say. Stop talking about nonsense. Come to my room right now. Your room? What, Mikaru's room? What are we doing today? Suddenly asking for that? I don't care if you got feelings for me, so shut up and follow me, soul-based. Sigh, I'm getting tired already. Are we having a secret meeting in Mikaru's room? Yeah. Oh, Rei-chan, did you bring Maida-kun? Oh, she has the stuffed plushie that we gave her. I guess this is how you would know that she likes plushies as a gift, because you would see it in her room. Tara, Otori, and Kurokawa too. Hey, don't do that shit show. How many times must I repeat that you're not my friends? Everyone, what happened? It looks like Mikaru came out of her room at dawn and called us one by one. Teruya, those goggles. This one, it was Haru's. It was left in the dressing room. I brought it. Oh my god, you're gonna survive till the end, aren't you? Oh my god, I hate you so much. This is an atonement for myself and also my own commitment to continue Haru's will. We need to move forward. That's right, the efforts Kobashi Kawakun and Satsuki-chan, we should never forget. The will of our friends who've died so far, but we can't just be sad anymore. Now it's the time for us to fight back. Bit by bit, very little, but something is starting to change and starts to move. Our hope is to not find it, but to create it. Only these words struck in my mind. So, why do you call us? Wait, I just realized the only person left alive who I haven't finished the free time event is Otori. I'm gonna be forced to fucking hang out with Otori for the rest of the game. Man, I got so unlucky. Man. This is an operational meeting. As long as I've decided to cooperate, everyone here will beat up Monokuma and together we shall escape. Rei-chan, being an ally makes you feel so reliable now. Everyone here. Wait, and oh, I skipped that. When I look at that guy, he's just... oh, I guess they're talking about Kinjo. When I look at that guy, he's a statue. It doesn't respond to anything, and I don't even know if he'll ever wake up. But even if he wakes up, I'm not certain if he'll ever recover. Then, of course, if we have him, you should be comfortable, but throw away your lingering regrets. We have no choice but to strike out. What? Because I felt the fighting spirit from you. I chose to cooperate. Mikaru, staying away from us till now. Have you found out something? A lot of pile of things. Those of you who have not found anything are more curious. First off, wait a minute, there can be surveillance cameras here too. Are you okay with that? Are you an idiot? Of course I know. That's why I called you into my own room. My room is the only one that can jam our surveillance cameras. What? Put it bluntly, it's instant jamming. Instant jamming? Otori-kun, do you know what she's saying? Not at all. Sigh. In short, my room is safe. The words here will not be leaked to the mastermind. And her appearance is not visible. Why? How? What are you talking about? Really? Amazing. How did you do it? Yeah. Power room, audiovisual room. and I assembled some useful parts from the warehouse. That's how I made it. It's only a temporary measure, so even if it's not perfect, it'll be safe. Okay, okay. Nicole, you didn't just spend time alone. Of course not. You better thank me for inviting you. So, the first goal is to find out the identity of the mastermind? Yes, it's us. It's Yuki and Maeda. We're the mastermind. Of course, that's the most important thing, but before that, let's look at the preconditions. Preconditions? Why did we get involved in this division? I mean, that's the biggest mystery. Why did Hope Speak Academy become this way? Why doesn't anyone come to save us? But that's the first thing we said with the others, right? At that time, they were both Kinjo and Mikaru, but no conclusion was made. No, unlike then, there's one fact I do know. At first, I thought it was an hypothesis, because it was nonsense, but I was convinced after yesterday. Mikaru, you don't mean... Our memories have been erased. Yes, it's a fact. A considerable amount of time has already passed since we entered this school. And the truth is, we don't remember it. Mikako-chan. Also, I knew you would react when we talked about this, Mikako Kurokawa. What's this all of a sudden? I'm obviously deeply grateful to Satsuki, and thanks to her, I was told to cooperate in order to punish the mastermind. But before that, there's a traitor we must catch. Mikako Kurokawa, you know something. Yes, she obviously does. Honestly, I'm dubious about your true nature. Tell me everything you know. If you can't, then I'll consider you on the mastermind side. No way, is this true? This is nonsense, right? Ugh. No, trust me, you're gonna pass out again? The fucking sleeper agent code is gonna activate? You can't talk about it? If you're innocent, tell me the facts that you know. You do know that there's not only one or two suspicious actions you've done so far, right? Why did you shut your mouth? Are there any circumstances that you can't tell us? Mikaru, don't do that too much. Kurokawa has to calm down before. Hello everyone, it's morning, 7 AM. It's wake up time. Let's have a lively one today too. Morning announcement. It's already 7 AM. That's not the problem right now. Huh? Alright, I almost forgot. I don't know if everyone had a good night, but I want everyone to please go to the gym. I have some great news to inform you. See you soon, Pooh. What? I'll leave this story for later, but just so you know, I won't move on this time. Mikako Kurokawa. What's the great news? It's only been a day since the trial was over, and suddenly... We'll just have to go. We have no choice. Can I save, please? Mikako and Kurokawa, the air that seemed to flow smoothly, got tense in an instant. In this tense mood, Monokuma shows up to add even more anxiety. We'll all go to the gym, as Monokuma said, without concealing the unpleasantness. There was a reality waiting for us that we could not imagine. Is Kinjo gonna be dead? That would be crazy. The first thing we knew as soon as we entered the gym was that Kinjo didn't come. If Monokuma didn't say anything, it only means he still fainted. But that fact is so casually forgotten because a more shocking scene unfolded in the gym. What's it gonna be? What could it be? What could it be? What could it be? I don't even know. Someone we thought was dead is back alive? Huh? Who? A guy? Oh, it's a prisoner. It's a prisoner. Yeah, the guy that Mikako knows. Oh. Okay. Yo, man, what's up? His pride looked very funny. He looked like a street thug or something. Yeah, you're the ultimate inventor. Everyone is here. The class trial ended yesterday, but I'm sorry for calling again so suddenly. But no matter what, there were things I had to tell you. It's a bit early, but I'll announce the motive. A surprise motive event introducing the transfer student. This time, I transferred to Hope Street Academy, the ultimate inventor, Yamato Kisaragi-kun. Please greet him with an applause. Aren't you supposed to be like 100 years old? Kisaragi? Nonsense. Yamato ni? Her brother? A suspicious figure who suddenly appeared as a transfer student. With his appearance, the situation began to unfold like a roller coaster. Okay. Interesting. Are they gonna add one for that guy? No, he doesn't count. Oh no, he does. Okay. um. The victim in chapter 5 is either Kenjo, it's either this guy, or it's gonna be like some weird shit like in Danganronpa 1. Yeah. I didn't mention as a joke, it wasn't really a joke, but I mentioned as a theory in a previous part that like, oh, what if we got time travel to the past? That doesn't seem so stupid now, but I still don't think that's it. It's probably just like a fucking clone or something of the guy. Yes, I would like to save. And I'm gonna end here because I've been recording for a long time and my throat hurts. This sprite looks so stupid. Okay, well, I'm seeing on chapter 4. Yeah, like I said, not my favorite chapter, but it was okay. Yeah, see you next time.